Tyler Coppo, what's going on?
Not so much, Ty. How we doing?
Good, doing well, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming on first and foremost. I know you're one of the seniors in college, and obviously with this COVID-19 kind of shutting down the season, just kind of wanted to reach out, talk to you, and see what's going on in your life and what your future plans are. So, with that being said, we'll start off with my name's Tyler Milbert. I'm here with Tyler Coppo. He plays for the University of Hartford, home of the Hawks, and they're out of West Hartford, Connecticut. And this is inside the mind of an athlete. All right, Tyler. Let's go back. You played for the New Hampshire Huskies when I first met you. Then you went over to the Ravens over at Franklin Pierce. Then you go to Monadnock High School, home of the Huskies as well.
Yep.
Tell me how you went from the little league player to the high school player. From in between any of that, when did you know you had that ability to play D1 ball?
Um, I mean, kind of growing up, obviously, I had great coaches and, Kevin Rhines and you starting out, obviously I was set up, in a good way there. And kind of going over to the Ravens and being in that kind of, just whole circle, of great people and great teammates, that would push me every day, to be my best. And, I'm obviously, a super competitive person, and, always want to try and be the best, that I can possibly be.
Yep.
Um, then I got to high school. I had a great coach there, and Jimmy St. Laurent and Dave LaPointe. And they always would challenge us in every way, make sure we go about things right, both on the field and off the field. Um, and then things kind of just took off in that respect, and I started getting more playing time, sophomore and junior year, and things started shaping up in a good way. And I just kind of started sending emails to a whole bunch of schools and stuff. And Jimmy in a way, set me up pretty good with Hartford, and talking to Coach Blood and Coach Mao, and at the time Coach Glenn. They kind of just took me under their wing, and fortunate enough for me, I was able to commit there and go there, and have a great time doing it. So,
Yep.
I guess to answer your question, when did I know I had the, ability and capability of going, to a Division I school? I guess there isn't really a time that sticks out per se, but I guess with my accomplishments in high school and stuff, um, my dream, every kid's dream of playing Division I baseball, um, you could start to see it take shape and
Right.
take form in that respect.
Yep. Obviously, uh, you have the love and support from your family, from your friends. You've had that since you were little, and always loved your parents for that. Just to be at every game, and always just keeping you up, whether it's a bad game, whether it's a good game. They're just always making sure Tyler Coppo is confident, is high, and I know that absolutely has to be a big blessing on your end, knowing that you have your parents and your sister to fall back on, whether, like I said, whether it's a good game or a bad game.
Yep.
So, um, yeah, that's great that your parents are there, your sister's there, and family, friends, loved ones supporting you, and uh, I see them always posting about your games on social media, and it's cool to see, man. Like I just talked to Elijah Brown last week or two
Yep.
weeks ago,
Yeah, I
and
watched
like
that
I
one.
said, like I told him, I've been following you guys because I came out second season with the Huskies. I ended up having to move out to Arizona, and I wasn't really around much. I was playing ball in Lunenburg with the Phillies, so I wasn't there as much as I wanted to be. And honestly, moving to Arizona, I kind of felt like I was leaving you guys behind a little bit, um, because I've always looked up to older people as mentors. Uh, Back in at Messinic, with the Ojulas, with the Salo boys, and you just look up to guys, and it's always nice to have them kind of look down on you and kind of help you and watch you grow. And if you have any questions, that they're there. So I kind of felt like moving out here, kind of I left a piece of my heart back home, but like I told Elijah, with social media, I've been able to watch you guys grow throughout high school and now throughout college. So it's been a blessing just to see you guys still succeed and become the young men that you guys are. So, and again, I still look forward to seeing you throughout what you guys become in your lives. But let's see. Before we go to University of Hartford, what made you fall in love with the game of baseball? You're an athletic kid. What made you choose baseball to proceed with?
Um, I mean, I kind of grew up around baseball and softball from the day I was born. I mean, my mom was playing, my dad was coaching, um, so I was kind of just always around it. Growing up, I played 4 sports, until I was probably 11 or 12 years old. Um, then I kind of cut it back to 2 sports, um, just because I had knee surgery,
Yeah.
stuff like that, different things that, kind of hindered my ability to play those 4 sports. And, obviously growing up, you can't play soccer. I mean, you could, I guess, don't get me wrong. But, it's a little bit more challenging to play soccer
Right.
and football at the same time in high school. So, I kind of gave up, just because of injury wise and stuff like that, the soccer and football aspect, and focus a little bit more on um, basketball and baseball. And baseball always kind of just found its way and, always kind of came naturally to me, I could say, at least
Yeah.
growing up. Obviously, as we get older, you got to work a lot more and put a lot more time into things. Um, so, I mean, I always loved, what it took to be, competitive in baseball and the competitive nature and just the game in general. I mean, just as well as I do what it takes to, perform at a high level and, what it takes on an everyday basis to succeed. So, I mean, I
Yeah.
feel like in that respect, just the competitive nature and just everything about baseball, I guess, is what I kind of
Yeah.
fell in love with.
Yeah.
It's always going to hold a special place in my heart. And, I guess every good thing, kind of comes to an end.
Yeah.
Um, but, in that respect, I guess kind of what it is.
Yeah. Hey, so playing with the Huskies, you're playing from kids from Jaffrey Ringe, you're playing from kids from New Ipswich. When you got to high school, because I never kind of got that. We had like we would play Jaffrey every now and then. So when I get to like Conant, we would play those kids. But you're coming from a Monadnock, so you're now playing Conant and Messina kids. How was that in high school? To kind of like those games brought out more competitor in you?
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, I mean, at any time, even in college, like, with summer ball and stuff like that, when we go back to our schools and, kind of, you always look forward to those games just because guys on the other hand, you want to beat them so bad, just for bragging rights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so in that respect, yeah, I mean, you always kind of get a little bit more fired up, a little bit more amped up to play those games and to compete in those games and compete against, guys that you used to play with or guys you still consider friends, in that respect. So, like, one thing that stands out just because I saw that he at least was in the group chat, I don't know if he still is, but something that I always remember my junior year of high school, I hit a home run off JP record um,
Yeah.
to walk off a game. So just stuff like that, just going up, knowing like, hey, if I hit this, it's gonna end the game, and it's just kind of,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, I got you this time.
Right.
Baseball is fun that way. And it's like, okay, I might get you this time, but you could give me the next 4 times.
Yeah.
And you just always go back and forth. Like the one and done. A lot of other sports are nowadays, but baseball allows you to, get it in multiple different opportunities.
Yeah. Yeah. It's fun, man. And so let's see, between Conant and Messinic, which would you say was the bigger rival? Maybe if it's even not a rival, but which was more fun to play?
Huh. That's a good question. I mean, I would say, oof. I mean, Messinic and Conant, they had their years. My senior year when I got hurt with my left shoulder, Conant was obviously in a better position and everything. Um, but I mean, overall, I mean, I always loved playing both of them. Um, there was no really like which one would you look forward to most. It was like, okay, these are the two teams that I want to beat more than anyone
Right.
else. Um,
Yeah.
and I would say, um, growing up and playing on the Ravens as well as the Huskies with, JP and Kyle Dupuis. Um, I guess Conan. If I had to pick one, probably Conan. Um,
Yeah.
just they're closer and they were always chirpy. We were chirpy, um, and it was always just kind of competitive in that nature. And we both brought
Yeah.
it onto the field. And so yeah, if I had to pick one, probably Conan.
Okay. Yeah, that's like I said, that's cool. Just growing up, playing ball with kids. Like I said, not just from the town over, but the next couple towns over, and then
Yeah,
growing
absolutely.
up with them, playing them in high school. So, all right. So you're a senior at Hartford this year. You are off to a hot start. I see home run. I see your mom posting Tyler hit another home run. Tyler hit another home run. So your season's off to just a rocket of a start. Then obviously this COVID kind of just instantly shuts it down. No questions asked. You're done. Um, Obviously that's a gut punch, and the NCAA did come out and say uh, seniors are allowed to come back from the spring. Um, what does Tyler Coppo do with that?
To be honest, my coaches and I have talked a little bit, to an extent, but I haven't. I've given them some kind of, hint of which way I'm leaning. Obviously being a senior and stuff like that and graduating, um, sometimes you got to come to the reality. Things are coming to an end per se, or potentially coming to an end. Um, I'm in the hiring process of, a job right now, and so it all kind of depends on how that goes. Not saying, you know, things could change, and I'm not going to disclose, which way I'm leaning or whatever. Because honestly, I don't know.
Right.
Part of me, obviously wants to go back and, finish potentially what could have been this year.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but then the other part of me is like, okay, well, you had your time, you know,
Yeah.
just go
I
out on a
got
good
you.
note.
Yeah.
Because honestly, at the end of the day, like if I were to go back, um, who says one, I'm gonna stay healthy. Two,
Mm-hmm.
get off to another good start. Three, even play. You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's part of that competitive nature of baseball is you got to earn everything that you get, kind of
Yeah.
thing. Um, so honestly, I don't know. And I've talked to my coach a little bit about it, but there's more to come for sure in that respect.
Yeah.
So
Cool. Yeah, well, I am looking forward to whatever you do choose to do. I support you 100% on what you do choose to do as well. And I'll be rooting for you just in life in general. It doesn't, like you said, like it's not all about baseball. There's much more to live in this life that we're living in. So, um,
absolutely, I appreciate
what,
it.
yeah. Um, let's see. I got a few more, but what is your advice to younger kids that look up to Tyler Coppo that get autographs from Tyler Coppo? What's kind of like your advice to them, um, if just in life with through little league all the way through college?
Um, just have fun playing, I guess would be my advice. Obviously, as you kind of grow up, the more and more teammates you're going to have on each team. And, it's easy to not like someone, on your team per se, but you got to kind of mesh with them on the field. Doesn't matter off the field or whatever.
Right.
And, obviously being in college, the past 4 years I've had a whole bunch of different teammates, that I liked, didn't like per se, whatever. Um, but at the end of the day, I think whether you like a teammate or not, I think the aspect that is important is the respect aspect and the trust that you have with that person. Whether you, like I said, whether you like
Right.
them or not, you can respect that person. And
Right.
I feel like even looking at me, I know I have teammates or I've had teammates that don't like me, for whatever reason. But at the end of the day, they respect me and they trust me to have their back if
Mm-hmm.
need be. Um,
Right.
so, um, just in that respect, always treat your teammates, the way you'd want to be treated, compete with them. I mean, I love competing, and that's some of the guys, that I've played with don't like the competitive aspect, and, we never meshed in that respect. But at the end of the day, like I said, we respected each other for that, for
Yeah.
that reason.
Yeah.
And every guy's going to be different. You're going to come across a whole bunch of different personalities, everything like that. And something that my coaches have preached to me throughout the years is, hey, like, this guy, you got to take a little bit easier. He's not going to respond to, hey, that hard head mentality, that you could bring across, that you do bring across, that competitive nature. They don't respond to that in the way that other guys do. You know,
Right.
so I mean, just have fun, be competitive, but give that respect when earned, and make sure that you earn that respect at the same time.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't agree more, man. It's definitely. I mean, at the end of the day, you're all there to play the sport you love. You know, and
Absolutely.
whether it's like you said, some guys don't like competing. Some guys just like it could scare them away. Like, hey, this guy's way better than me. I can't even compete with him. So why am I even trying? When in reality, you're both on the same team. So you both did something right to please the coach. So, yeah, definitely to the kids out there just thinking that it's not their chance. Like you have nothing to lose. Give it your all every single day.
Absolutely.
So,
Absolutely.
all right. So playing D1 ball, you get a lot of perks. You go a lot of places. What's your favorite place you went to while playing for Hartford, or baseball field, I should
Oh,
say?
favorite baseball field? Um, I mean, Stetson was always cool. I mean, we went there for our 2018 regional.
Yeah.
We were fortunate enough to go there this season for opening series. So I mean, that field was always cool. I mean, we got to play at Duncan Jones Park a few times. We played, um, the first ever game there before the Yard Goats. Um, but I mean, personally, that I've played on, um, I'd say it was Stetson. Stetson was
Okay.
cool. It was a big league field in my opinion, and um, yeah, I mean, just everything about it was cool.
Sweet. Yeah, I know. I seen Stenson on TV a lot, even out here, yeah, mainly when it came to playoffs. But I'd always look for you guys, whether it was your team or Elijah's team. Just always trying to catch a glimpse of you guys on TV because that's pretty damn cool, man. Saying like,
Yeah,
"Yo,
I
I
mean,
coached that kid when he was 11."
oh yeah, yeah. No, I mean Stetson, and then Bob just said also Oregon State. We played Oregon State the year that they won the national championship, and
Okay.
um, going out there, I mean, we lost, we got swept, um, but we were competitive every single game, um, and I was actually fortunate enough to pitch that series, and just obviously they had a lot of guys get drafted, and being able to compete with those guys, that's something that kind of lasts forever. Um,
Right.
so yeah, I mean, in that respect. All right, so I'd still say Stetson, but Oregon State, just the atmosphere that was brought every single game was incredible.
Right.
So
Yeah, that's cool, man. Hey, so I know you pitched, but then I know you also hit. So were you like a pitcher first baseman? Were you a pitcher DH, or how'd that all go?
I mean, so when I was brought in, I mean, obviously I caught in high school,
Yeah.
um, and Coach Bud kind of sat me down during the recruiting process and was like, hey, I see you more as a pitcher, and I was like, all right, that's fine, and I bought into that. So my freshman year, I was making that transition, couldn't throw a strike for my life. I could just throw kind of hard, couldn't locate nothing. Um, so I ended up redshirting that year because I wasn't ready to compete at that level.
Yeah.
Um, sophomore year, I performed a little bit better, started slipping towards the end. Um, Junior year, kind of just didn't do nothing, didn't do anything, to be honest with you. Um, so then that was just all pitching pretty much. I got my chances. I got, I think, 20 at bats my sophomore year. Kind of filled in an emergency spot against UMBC one series. Hit well that series. Um, but then things kind of got rolling back for guys, which is fine. You know, that's like I said, that's the game of baseball.
Right.
Um, and then, you know, junior year, um, didn't get a lot of opportunities. Didn't deserve a lot of excuse me, didn't deserve a lot of opportunities in my opinion, and you know, in other guys' opinions as well. But you know, this year, um, you know, I worked my butt off. I actually pitched all summer long. I mean, I didn't really hit until the last week of the season, um, and I actually dropped my arm slot down quite a bit to try and make that change to compete at that level again. Um, and it was working out. I mean, I had a good fall, um, you know, doing that, and I also had a good fall hitting. So when the coaches and I talked, you know, before winter break, as you know, like your fall exit meeting, um, you know, we pretty much just talked about pitching, and they're like, okay, yeah, you know, you come out of the pen, but you know, you've earned your opportunity hitting as well. And to hear that, you know, it was pretty self-rewarding. And then opening weekend came, and I was in the starting lineup, and I knew, like, hey, you know, we always stress opportunity. You know, make the most of your first opportunity, and don't let that opportunity slip away.
Yep.
And you know, I was lucky enough to play well in that first game of the year, and kind of just ran away with it. You know, I had a great counterpart at first base as well in Nick Pagan, and he challenged me every day. I challenged him every day. You know, and he was having a great year hitting the ball as well. So, you know, and I knew, and that's what kind of drove me to compete every day is, you know, knowing, hey, like nothing's earned. I mean, everything's earned.
Right.
Nothing's just given. You know, and having that mentality, you know, kind of kept me going and just wanting more every day.
Yep. Hey, so I don't care if it's little league, middle school, high school, college. What is your favorite baseball memory that you can think of? It can be a couple too.
Oh boy. I'd have to say I got two. I mean, obviously when you win a championship, those stick out a little bit more. Um, Junior year, you know, we lost in the state championship to Campbell. You know, and that was kind of a heartbreaker. Um,
Right.
so you know that kind of was long lasting. And then you know, senior year, even though my season got cut short with a shoulder problem, um, you know, winning that championship was kind of bittersweet, I guess you could
Yeah.
say. Um, you know, just being part of that and watching the guys from the, you know, actually having the opportunity to take a step back and watch your teammates succeed and, you know, do what they did the way they did it, and just being able to help in every opportunity that you could, was really cool. And
Yeah.
I'd say that championship really stuck out. And then obviously my sophomore year, we won the America East tournament, and then went down to Stetson for that regional, first one of the year, or first one in franchise history, um, Hartford Hawks history. So that was cool. Um, that was that was a heck of a ride, and um, you know, one of the greatest teams to really ever go through Hartford. So, you know,
Yeah.
being part of that was pretty cool, and um, those rings will stay with me forever. So,
Yeah.
those are the two that stick out amongst others.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Well, like I said, I wish you nothing but the best in your life. Whatever you choose to do, I back you 100%. I know your family's supportive, like I mentioned. And then just anyone you love, man, just make sure, like you said, just treat everyone the same way you want to be treated, and life will be good from there on out because it just being a good person in general is all you can do. Whatever feedback you get is what you get, but just make sure you just keep doing what Tyler Coppo does, and just put your heart out there for everyone and do the best that you can in your life, man. um, and with that being said, I'll leave it with this, man. I'm Tyler Milbert. I'm here with Tyler Coppo, and this is Inside the Mind of an Athlete. Hey,
All
take
right,
care, Tyler.
you too, Ty. Thanks.
All right, yep.